Welcome back to the channel. Today I just kind of wanted to have like a rambly chat about something that's been on my mind. I just don't really know how I feel about it, and so I'm kind of asking you guys, like, let's have a discussion post commentary down below, because I would just love to know your thoughts about this. And I've been thinking a lot about investment pieces. So I hear this term a lot, like, this is a great investment, this is an investment piece, and it kind of got me thinking, like, what makes a piece of clothing an investment piece? And does that even exist within the scope of today's micro trend cycle? I feel like this term investment piece comes up on my feed a lot when I'm watching reels in particular. Somebody will be doing like a mini shopping haul, and then they'll pull out something very expensive and say, like, this is a great investment piece for my wardrobe. And it's always something that's very, very expensive. I'm talking like $1,000 or more. And I'm always just kind of perplexed, like, is that really an investment piece? Because it often tends to be something maybe really trendy or very eclectic or just very particular, but then they call it an investment piece. And I just don't know how I feel about that. To me, an investment piece can be one of two things. It's either an heirloom piece of jewelry. I'm thinking like a Rolex, a Chanel bag, like these very expensive diamonds, you know, very expensive jewelry, high quality jewelry, precious metals that you could sell and get your money back or make money on it. Like vintage Rolexes, you know what I mean? Like they get, this isn't something I have experience with, but I assume, you know, you buy a Rolex and then it gets handed down to your children and your grandchildren, and it's something that gains value as time goes on. Same with Chanel flat bags. I think I read somewhere once upon a time, I read a stat that their value increases by 15% each year because the production cost increases. So if you get a Chanel bag 10 years ago, you could sell it and make more money than what you bought it for if it's in good condition and all of that. So that's one lens where I see investment pieces through, where it's something that you could make money on. It's an heirloom piece. It's gonna last generations, something fancier, something really nice, something that holds its value. And then the other way I see investment pieces regarding a wardrobe is something that maybe is a little bit more expensive, and it's not something you would normally buy. It's something that you saved up for. You did a lot of research. You put a lot of mindful thought into it because it's a piece that's going to last for a really long time in your wardrobe. So for me, I feel like a great investment piece that I bought recently was my Aritzia Super Puff. That thing after tax was like $400. But I did a ton of research on them and they really hold up, and it's gonna last me literally the rest of my life. Like my mom has her black puffer jacket that she got 20 years ago. So that's a great investment piece because it's replacing the need to buy a new coat every 2 to 5 years. If I take care of it and I, stay the same size, I will wear that for years and years and years. So those are kind of the two ways that I see investment pieces. You're either putting your money into an investment piece because it's an asset for you. This could be even something like rare, something like archival designer, something super rare that you got, and it's gonna, be more valuable, like a 2005 Miu Miu, whatever. And then practical, where in the long run, you're spending more money up front, but you're not going to, it's gonna save you money, so it's a good upfront investment. And recently, I've been looking at what people call investment pieces, and it's something like Tabby Margiela ballet flats. Which I'm sorry. I actually love Tabbies, but I think they are probably the worst thing that you can put your money into. Quite possibly the dumbest thing that you can purchase. I'll say it. That shit is overpriced and not worth it. And I'll give you my reasoning. Number one, they have a leather bottom. You immediately have to take your Tabbies. I'm not sure about the boots, but maybe I just have heard this from the ballet flats. You have to take them to a cobbler immediately and get the bottoms redone so that way they don't literally fall apart. These are like $600 to $800 shoes. Oh, I'm sorry. Is it too much of me to ask that my ballet flat for $800 be ready to wear? As if the audacity, truly. The other thing that I really hate is that they are a soft lambskin leather. Essentially, you're wearing tissue paper out. When I worked at other stores, a lot of little fashionistas would come in with their Tabbies, wrecked to shit, torn apart, leather flaking. Like, I just don't think that a ballet flat should cost more than $200. $200 is the absolute maximum, and that craftsmanship better be like next level. The McGuire flats, those are so popular. I went in person to see them. The leather is ass. The leather sucks. I was so shocked. I was actually like so disappointed because I think the red ones with the little tie, they're so damn cute. And yeah, when I tell you it felt like styrofoam, I was literally like so disappointed. I was so disappointed. I was like, this is what we're paying for, ladies? This is the leather we're accepting? We think this is okay? I think there's a really skewed sense of what makes a piece an investment piece. And also, an investment piece should be good quality. And that is what's pissing me off, is that these brands are putting out products that are investment piece prices for Old Navy quality. It doesn't match up. So when people say that they're buying something and it's an investment piece, it's kind of like alarm bells for me, where you're lying to yourself and you're just justifying a really expensive purchase. And I also wonder, can we even have investment pieces if trends are changing so fast? Let's say you buy a $600, $2,000 wool coat in your head you're gonna wear for the rest of your life. What if you got a style like a funnel neck and in 2 years you're gonna hate it? What if you got something with a lot of studs, like a lot of hardware on it, and then yeah, a couple of years from now you hate it? And typically when I see people talking about investment pieces, they're people who are very into style, very into fashion, very into turning over their closet quickly. I just think, how can this be an investment if I know in 2 years you're gonna get rid of this and you're gonna get a different jacket? And the other thing too about investment pieces is that quality in clothing has gone down so significantly. Just for example, my husband needs some new work clothes. We were out shopping the other day and we went into COS. I was so pissed off by all of these $200 sweaters having these cheap matte cheapo looking buttons. I was like pissed. And then like all the jackets, it's like a $500 jacket and there's threads hanging from it. How can we justify that this is an investment if the structure and quality of the coat is not matching the price? I really feel like we're being bamboozled as customers. Brands put a high price tag so that we have a perceived, like this perception of quality when it's really not there. COS is a fast fashion brand. You can get great things from fast fashion brands and have them last. Like I said, I don't think demonizing anything is helpful. So I don't think demonizing fast fashion as a whole is helpful, because for many people, they can't afford to go out and buy 100% sustainable brands. And I know you'll say, well, why don't you just thrift anything? Of course. Also not feasible for everyone. Something like a white t-shirt, right, that I wear under my clothes every single day. I'm not gonna be able to find this stain-free, pit stain-free, not stretched out and find the same one 5 times. Like, you know, so there's certain things where you can make your sustainable effort in a different way, right? So I make sure to buy 100% cotton. This t-shirt can disintegrate when I'm done with it, right? I'm not buying poly blends. I'm also monitoring my consumption. I'm not over consuming fast fashion. I'm buying a limited amount and actually wearing it. I don't know. I just think to ask people to quit shopping 100% is not productive, because that'll just never happen, and then you're just gonna piss people off, and then they're not even gonna want to thrift at all. So it's like these investment pieces can exist within fast fashion companies, but a lot of the times I see places that are kind of like mid-level. They're not luxury, but people don't perceive them as fast fashion. I'm thinking like And Other Stories, COS. And Other Stories and COS are owned by H&M, okay? Arguably one of the biggest fast fashion, like known fast fashion brands that there is. So they're kind of like bamboozling the customer into thinking that this $500 jacket is an investment piece, when in fact it is fast fashion. Another thing that I think when people buy these investment pieces, it always kind of feels like they bought it on a whim. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, why are the sleeves too long on that? Did we consider the fit? Or are we going to get that tailored? Are we going to get that altered? Because that is such a big piece into how clothes fit. Are you going to care for that item? Are we taking it dry cleaning? Are we storing it properly? Do you plan on mending it if it's broken? If not, is that really an investment piece? If as soon as the pocket gets a hole, you're gonna get rid of it instead of mending it, is it an investment piece? And can an investment piece be something that you buy on a whim? Can an investment piece be an impulse purchase? I just don't know. I don't know. To me, an investment piece, if you're going down the route where it's something expensive that you want to hold on to and it's going to be a family heirloom, Cartier watch, you know. I don't know why I'm going back to the watches. I feel like watches just really hold their value. A pair of diamond earrings that you're gonna give to your, daughters and your grandchildren. That is something that you think a lot about. You put a lot of thought into it. You put a lot of thought into where you're gonna buy it and how are we gonna save for it? Do I have the money? It's like an outing to go get it. You're probably not gonna order it online. You wanna go into the store. You wanna try it on. It's an experience. You're proud of yourself. That's another thing. An investment piece can be a very big accomplishment. And if it's something that you want for the longevity of the item, it's something that's been well researched. It fills a gap in your closet. You know that this is going to mitigate impulse purchases in the future. You've read forums about which one lasts longer. You've gone in person and tried it on. And so sometimes when I see someone buy something on a whim and then they call it an investment piece just because it was expensive, like only because the item was expensive, I don't think that that is an investment piece. And I think for many people, the idea of making something in your wardrobe an investment is a lie. It's just a lie to themselves, and I don't think it exists as much as people say it does. I also think that calling something an investment piece is kind of an excuse for buying something trendy. I'm thinking about is it Totem? You know the coat. I'll obviously pop up a picture. When this jacket came out, I saw a ton of people unboxing these on my reels, getting it for Christmas, calling it an investment piece. And now what has happened is that that coat is so popular. I was seeing it everywhere in the city. Like everyone had this jacket that now no one wants to wear this jacket. This jacket has also been duped pretty well. So a jacket that was originally $1,200 now has a pretty similar dupe by Quince for $200. And the one from Quince is 100% merino wool. And that's kind of funny because the Totem is a wool blend while the cheaper one is 100% wool. And dupe culture is honestly its own topic because I actually really hate dupe culture and I don't think that you are entitled to owning anything. I don't think you're entitled to owning a dupe. I'm sorry, that's my hot take. So this jacket that you saw as an investment piece because maybe you thought it would hold its value now probably isn't holding its value because the demand for it is not as high because it's been duped to hell. Because it was a trendy item, people bought it, wanted to get ahead of the curve. Now everybody has this jacket, they're over it because they've seen it done time and time again, and now they don't wear their $1,200 jacket anymore, which makes it a dud in both avenues of being an investment piece. I talked about this a bit in my last video, but the pursuit of uniqueness is such a killer because you want to be ahead of the bell curve. Everybody wants to be ahead of the trend, but what you don't realize is that you're like phase 1 of the trend, right? You're never ever ahead of the trend. So let's say you think you're ahead of the trend, right? You're like 2 months ahead. Well, 2 months later, all the other girls are caught up and now you think your jacket is stupid. Like, it's so dumb. I think if people took a minute to breathe and ask themselves, do I actually like this coat? Because I actually think the coat is very beautiful. So, I could see somebody owning this coat and really loving it for years to come. But do you actually like this coat, or is this like a chronically online purchase? Something else that I've observed regarding investment pieces is, what is your income? Because you cannot be buying the same as influencers, right? Like, an investment piece to them is not the same as an investment piece to you. Just because it's expensive doesn't mean that it's an investment piece. Just because somebody can afford something that you can't does not mean that it is like the end all be all for investment pieces. I hate to break it to you, sister. Sophia Richie and you are in vastly different tax brackets. And you probably pay more taxes. Just because somebody richer than you owns something doesn't make it the ideal thing to own. Doesn't mean that you're entitled to own it eventually. The purchase of an expensive item by a rich person holds very low stakes in their life. Them buying something that's $5,000 is like they are shopping at Walmart. So how can you trust this item is good if money doesn't really mean much to them? Okay, I'm a Swiftie, right? I love Taylor Swift, but her buying a $8,000 sweater honestly doesn't really mean much because she's so rich that that's like spending $1. So if we were to spend $8,000 on something, the quality better be immaculate. Okay, I should have a lifetime warranty on that item. If it ever pills, it needs to be taken care of for free. The quality has to be so superb, superior. This better be the most sustainable item on earth. I better get the name of the sheep whose wool it came from if I'm spending $8,000 on a sweater. So to associate rich people buying expensive things with quality. You cannot trust their opinion because they don't care. They're so rich that it doesn't mean anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, they might think it's good quality because they could literally go out and replace it if in a year it does crap out. You just cannot trust influencers when they say something is a good investment piece, because a lot of them are filthy rich and they just have kind of lost touch with what products should cost and how they should perform. I guess my main point is just be a smart consumer and know that buying something expensive does not always mean that it's an investment piece. It doesn't mean that you are going to get a return on your investment, and it also doesn't mean that it's going to last forever. It has to be a smart purchase, and saying something is a good investment is just kind of silly if it's really not. Like, it's ask yourself, is this actually an investment, or am I just buying something expensive and I feel guilty and so I'm calling it an investment piece? Also, let me say, there is nothing wrong with buying expensive items if you can afford it. Not every item will be an investment piece. Not every item should be an investment piece. Sometimes we just find stuff that like excites us and we find it's just so cute and we like it a lot, and that's totally okay. If you want to buy something expensive, go for it, but be honest with yourself. It's not an investment piece if it's like a polka dot, shimmery, sparkly, I don't know, frilly foofy dress that you're gonna wear twice a year. It's just not. Just don't lie to yourself. And don't buy things that you can't afford. I see that too. I see people like justifying buying an investment piece because it'll save them money in the long run, but they can't afford it up front either. Well, it's not saving you money in the long run if you can't afford it. If you have to afterpay an investment piece, don't talk to me. If you're Klarna-ing investment pieces, you've lost the plot, and I fear you may need to take a personal finance course, because that's not an investment piece if you're financing it. Death to all buy now, pay later apps. I don't know, those are just some thoughts that I've been having. Let me know if you disagree. That's totally fine. Just be polite. Be polite. What do you guys consider an investment piece? It's just a very interesting topic that I don't think I've heard a lot of people talk about, and I do see people make videos that are like, top 5 investment pieces that you need in your wardrobe. And I'm like, well, do you? Does everybody need an investment piece that's a white t-shirt? Do you need a $150 white t-shirt? Does everybody need a white button down? I love a white button down, but does everybody really need that? And do you need, see, that's something that I know you can thrift. You can thrift a white button down anywhere. Those are a dime a dozen. Do we need an investment piece that's a white button down? I don't know. I don't think so, but maybe that's just my standards and the standards are different from someone else. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. Oh my God, please follow me on Instagram. I usually am not a beggar for Instagram. However, I don't really have a lot of followers over there. And then when brands see my page, they're like, okay, loser, 1,000 followers. So help beef it up over there if you'd like to. I don't really post. Maybe I should start posting. Okay, when I graduate school, like I'll have so much more time and then I can dedicate to short form. But right now it's like, I just can't. So I'm on my stories sometimes. So it won't even be that annoying. Like, you can follow me and you probably will forget that you even followed me. What a great pitch. What a great salesperson I am. Follow my Instagram because I need the numbers, but because I won't post, I won't annoy you. So it's a win-win for both of us, truly. So if you'd like, that's linked down below. A lot of you guys are following me on TikTok. I deleted all my TikToks. So I don't know. You guys are still following me on there, but I don't use it at all. So you're in the right place. This is where the magic happens. I'm mostly just on YouTube. What a dedicated creator I am. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one.